Thank you so much for coming in, Veronica.
Thank you
You're
for
looking
having
very
me.
well. That was
Thank
2
you.
years ago, wasn't it?
Yes.
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 Can you tell me about that? I can't actually imagine that you were, you were quite heavily pregnant when you found out.
Yes, I mean, when I first found the lump, I was about 20 weeks into the pregnancy. Didn't think anything of it because I don't have any cancer in the family. I eat well, I don't smoke, I exercise, I don't drink crazy, you know, nothing like that. And discovered
You
the
already
lump.
had 2 children by then?
Yes.
2 young children?
Yes.
And how old were you then?
I was 42 at the time, and Maya and Isha were 6 and 4, so they were very young. And as time went on, the lump got more painful and bigger, and by the time I was diagnosed, it was about 35 weeks in the pregnancy.
So what happened then?
So it was a big shock, and my concern obviously was for my children, and I didn't know if the cancer had passed to my unborn child. You know, I didn't understand, and everything was just go, go, go. We've got to get baby out, you know, C-section, treatment's got to begin. So instead of preparing for, you know, the birth of our son, it just turned into this crazy time.
So what happened with your family at that time? Did you tell people? Did you tell your mum and dad? And
I told my immediate family, and that was devastating. To give that news to them, it was horrific. I felt like someone just stabbed me in the heart, you know, to tell, you know, how do you tell your mother? How do you tell your children?
And at what should be such an immensely happy time.
Exactly, yes. So it was very intense, to say the least. But thankfully, my mum and my sister, that had just had her first baby at the time, they didn't even consult me about it. Right, we're moving in, we're helping you, you know, we're there, and that family support was right there. My husband, Bobby, you know, he was there, and I couldn't have done it without them, honestly. Well, I have a very public profile, you know, in terms of my music, but when it comes to my personal life, I like to keep things very private. And, you know, going through the cancer treatment and, you know, the surgeries and everything is very, very intense, and it's quite horrific, to be honest. So, but the back of my mind, I knew that at some point I have to do something about it because I have the capability to make a difference. And by speaking up about my private life, maybe I can save one person.
And in particular, in the Asian community, can you just explain how that is still partly a taboo in the Asian community?
I feel that there's not enough knowledge and information about breast cancer and cancer in general. And then the second thing is that it can be quite frightening and intimidating for women to go for, like, breast screening and checkups, and it's embarrassing. We've got to break that stigma. We've got to get women, in particular Asian women, I think it's the older generation, to be honest, that miss their scans and their appointments because also they feel that it's not going to happen to them. And that's something that we have to change because cancer is something that is very real.
Well, well done for you. And what kind of a reaction have you had so far? Because it's quite recently you've been...
Yes, I mean, I'm so fortunate. The fans and the people out there, they've been so loving, so supportive, and they're like, you know, tell us, how can we help? What can we do? You know, how can we get involved? And I've actually joined forces with Stand Up to Cancer, the campaign, and just to bring awareness and raise money, because all that money goes towards Cancer Research UK, and that develops, you know, new treatments. They do tests and trials on new drugs that can save lives.
Well, congratulations for coming through and having 3 beautiful children now. And we wish you all the very best in the future.
Thank you.
And particularly with this campaign as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Veronica.